So there are several scenarios that can happen when the data is released. The actual data could be better, worse, or equal the forecasted data. What is that going to do? Let's go through it one by one, right? The actual data being better than forecasted data, that could actually strengthen the currency or increase price in the currency. Actual data being better than forecasted. Actual being worse than forecasted, probably going to bring prices down. Actual data equaling forecasted could actually result in very little price movement, or it could result in price moving according to the previous trend. I'll tell you more about trends in the next segment as we go through the technicals. Second scenario is when actual data is better or worse than previous data. So actual data being better than previous, again, could result in that strengthening or the increase in price. Actual data being worse than previous could probably relate to a weakening or dropping in price of the currency. And then the most confusing one, the third option or the third scenario, is when actual data is better or worse than forecasted and better or worse than previous. In that scenario, you're going to have to balance between what was previous, what was forecasted, and the actual data. A lot of these scenarios could happen. Number three, the third scenario, is actually something that happens quite frequently, and you need to balance that together as you put option one, scenario one and scenario two together, and also look at those 5 steps that I shared with you earlier on. So I just went through this exactly. Actual data being better than forecasted, you see the currency likely to strengthen, price likely to increase. Actual data equaling forecasted, you might see little price fluctuation. Actual data being better than previous, you see currency likely to strengthen, price likely to increase. If the actual data is better than forecasted and better than previous, you'll see currency likely to experience a very strong increase upwards. Or in the other scenario, if actual data is better than forecasted but worse than previous, you could see currency strengthen for a short period of time. So those scenarios put together actually gives you an idea of how to use economic data, how to somewhat predict the likelihood of where prices are going. Because as you have the previous and you have the actual, you can kind of get an idea of what actual data might be as you gather information, and it gives you the opportunity to plan. It gives you the opportunity to find out. It gives you the opportunity to take a chance on where prices could be heading. But remember, you don't need to memorize all those outcomes. You actually need more information. You need more information such as price, such as trend, such as support resistance lines. The indicators can give you a lot of information as well. So all that will come into place as we develop this story. Okay, it will be better to understand the implications of the currency. Economic data is always being added into. Every day we have new economic data being released. Every day the economic data is going to build the story of where price should be heading. Remember, the economic data is only part of the overall picture. You have to look at trend, support resistance, and indicators, as well as the economic data. All right, I've said economic data way too many times over the past couple of slides, but that probably happened through the whole session this time. There are several types of news and data. News are classified into 3 categories: high impact, medium impact, and low impact. Okay, 3 major categories: high, medium, and low. High impact news are going to be great price volatility if the actual data is significantly different from the forecasted. It's going to have an impact on price, which might have a longer term effect. So remember, high impact news are the ones that you're going to pay a lot more attention to, because those are going to give you more volatility. Those are going to be having longer term effects. But those are only going to happen if it's significantly different from forecasted. The medium and the low impact news could still have some influence on price, but it's likely to have little or even no influence on price, depending on how far off it is from the forecasted data, depending on what's being released, and also depending on what the medium and low impact news actually is and what it measures. Okay, so with these three, although the high impact news is the one that you're going to pay more attention to, you do not want to ignore the medium or the low impact news. You want to still consider it, you want to still understand that it's there, but it's probably something that you don't want to pay too much attention to. You want to pay more attention towards the high impact news. So how do you get all these news, economic news and data? I would hate paying for any news and data. I will always say go for the free sources to retrieve your economic data. Number one, Forex Trading Asia. Number two, Forex Factory. Number three, Bloomberg TV. Okay, so I put Forex Trading Asia and Forex Factory there. Forex Factory does give you the news, but a lot of times it gives you the news without the analysis. Forex Trading Asia is something that I've worked with, and it actually gives you both the news and the analysis, and I contribute a lot to it. So I'll actually write my own views and my own analysis in there as well. So make sure you jump onto Forex Trading Asia, sign up for that, you get your news and also the analysis behind that. Bloomberg TV is good. There are ways to subscribe to Bloomberg TV. It gives you the analysis, it gives you the professional analysis, and also when there are live broadcasts. That's where you want to watch Bloomberg TV to get that live broadcast, to get that live analysis, and also to get all the information before it's being transcribed out, so that you can actually trade during the news release, during the press conferences, during the press release. Okay, so these are the three main sources of news that I actually highly recommend to you to use, to bookmark, and to frequent over and over and over again.